Hey guys, YouTuber and Hood here. Alright, and now here I am with another sports movie review. And now here I am with a review for Rudy. So, yeah, this is a film that I have kind of watched before. I have watched this movie in parts before, but I've never actually really watched the entire thing straight through before. So, yeah, so yeah, so yeah, watching this movie to make this review was actually really the first time I actually really have seen this movie straight through from start to finish. And yeah, I mean this is a really good movie. I mean, yeah, of course this movie is really based on the actual true story of Rudy Rudiger when because yeah, in Rudy Rudiger really did have an actual goal when to play football for the University of Notre Dame, and yeah, he just really had determination to do that, and he really did overcome several obstacles to really achieve his goal. And really, that's what this movie really is about. It's really just telling the story of Rudiger's journey to really play football for Notre Dame. And yeah, it sold really well. I mean, I don't know really how accurately this movie does tell the true story of Rudy Rudiger or accomplishing his goal. But yeah, regardless of how well this really does portray that story, yeah, this still is a really good movie. And yeah, I really do think that this film is can be vastly overlooked because yeah, really I don't hear a lot of people really talking about this movie when they really do talk about sports films and just films in general. Yeah, I really do think it is a very overlooked and underrated movie. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, if you really haven't seen this movie before, I would really recommend it. It is very good. Yeah, of course, what this movie was one of the things this movie is really most well known for is just the famous theme song that it has with the dun 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 dun. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you know what I am talking about. Yeah, I'll put the full theme song down in the description if you want to hear the full theme song for yourself because yeah, the theme song is just really catchy and yeah, it really is a really good theme song. Yeah, I know that the theme song has been used in trailers for other movies, not necessarily just sports movies, but yeah, I've heard the song has been used in some other trailers. Yeah, I remember hearing it. The this theme song was used in the Angels in the Outfield trailer, and I remember also it was also used in the original trailer for a Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. So yeah, this theme song has really been used in other well, in trailers for other films as well. But yeah, of course, it originated in this movie. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, and I really do how this film really does tell the story. I really like how it really does show that Rudy Rudiger really did start really at the bottom, and he really did have to work his way up to really achieve his goal. First, it starts off with like with him as a kid just really having the goal in mind to play football for Notre Dame, but then over as he gets older it shows that he's really not really qualified to go to Notre Dame, so he really has to work his way into Notre Dame. And so then and yeah, and so throughout the majority of the film it's really just him really really trying to really um, work his way into Notre Dame him and really play football for them because yeah, as the film starts it just shows that he really doesn't have very good grades in school and he just really doesn't have the money to really attend Notre Dame, and so then he really does have to work or small to really work his way into Notre Dame. And because yeah, he does first have to attend a different college before he actually can work his way into Notre Dame. He really does have to really just really work to get his way into that to it. And yeah, in the last third of the movie he eventually does get into Notre Dame and he does eventually is eventually able to try out for the team, and he does like eventually make it on there. But of course, like he really does like want to actually be able to play in a game, and he's really not able to. But until like the end of the movie, where he actually does finally get to play in a game. So yeah, so it really just showed the progression that he really does have to go through to really achieve his goal. Yeah, and yeah, the cast in this movie are all like pretty good in the film. Like, of course, like the film does star Sean Astin as Rudy, and yeah, Sean Astin is like really good in the role. Like, of course, like Sean Astin also did play Sam in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and really just Sean Astin, I really just feel like that he is just like a very like overlooked and underrated actor because yeah he is like really good at acting because yeah of course like in Lord of the Rings like Sam is just like one of the best characters in the trilogy and here like he's also like very good like Sean Astin just really does like have a very good performance in this film as Rudy. So yeah, so I really do think that Sean Astin really does deserve a lot more recognition because yeah, he is like a really good actor. So yeah, and yeah, this film also does like have people like John Favreau in the film and Robert Prosky's in it. It also has Jason Miller, Ron Dean, Vince Vaughn actually does like have an appearance in this film, and even like the real Rudy Rudiger does have a cameo appearance towards the end of the film in like the final game in the film where Rudy actually does play in. Like the real Rudy Rudiger actually does have a cameo in this. Like at one point when it shows Rudy's father in the crowd, like it does show like the real Rudy Rudiger is actually behind his father. So yeah, so kind of interesting that they actually did get like the real Rudy Rudiger to make an appearance in the film like that. So yeah, but yeah, the cast in this film are overall they are like pretty good overall. I really can't think of any performances that really were like really bad or anything. So yeah. So overall, I just really can't find a whole lot to complain about this film. I mean, like I said, I mean, it does tell this story like really well, and I really do like how it just really does like go through like Rudy's progression to really achieving his goal, all and stuff. And yeah, and of course, like there's that catchy theme song, and the performances are all good. Just yeah, so really, just what is there really not to like about this film? So yeah, like I said, it really is worth a watch if you haven't seen it before. So if you haven't seen it before, check it out. So yeah, so I would probably give this film probably like around 3.5 stars out of 4. I mean, yeah, it is just like such a good movie and really worth a watch if you haven't seen it before. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let me just talk about the premise of the film. Yeah. So as the film starts off, it like opens up sometime in like the late 1960s, and it shows that Daniel Eugene Rudiger, or who's nicknamed Rudy, has dreams of like playing a football for Notre Dame. And as a young kid, he really does show that football is really like his passion, yeah. But as he like grows up, like as he's just like starting to finish high school, it shows that he does like play football, but yeah, he really does not have like very good grades. Like at one point as he's in class, like just the his teacher is just like saying that Rudy is just a daydreamer and he is failing class, and yeah, but Rudy really is like determined to really go to Notre Dame and play football. But yeah, Rudy is also like a a pretty smaller guy compared to like when you think of like the traditional football players. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Rudy really is like rejected to really like make it into Notre Dame in college and stuff. So then, yeah, after high school, Rudy then just like works in a steel mill with his father and brothers, and yeah, it shows that Rudy's father is also a Notre Dame fan. Yeah, and yeah, and Rudy also has his best friend Pete, who is like very supportive of Rudy's dream to go to Notre Dame and play football, but And then yeah, Pete ended up being killed after like an explosion inside of the steel mill. And so then, following Pete's funeral, then Rudy then decides to go and follow his dream and make it into Notre Dame to play football. So then, yeah, yeah. So Rudy ended up paying a visit to Notre Dame, but yeah, it showed that he really just academically he really was not eligible to really enroll into the school. Yeah, but a priest, a Father Kavanaugh, is that how it's said? Kavanaugh? Yeah, I'm not really quite sure how it's pronounced, but yeah. He was able to help Rudy enroll into another nearby college, a Holy Cross, and yeah, Rudy is just like really hoping to transfer with good grades. So then, and yeah, Rudy then just like was and attended Holy Cross College. And yeah, but then as a Rudy then ended up like approaching the Notre Dame Stadium groundskeeper, a Fortune, and he's like given a job as his assistant. But and then yeah, Fortune even like gives like Rudy a place to stay inside his office, as through sticking getting through a window. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, it also shows that Rudy is just like that well, not Rudy, Fortune has never actually seen a Notre Dame despite working at the stadium for years. Yeah, and over time Rudy also ended up like befriending like another student at Holy Cross, D Bob, who was like a teaching assistant, and D Bob is played by John Favreau. Yeah, and this was probably like one of John Favreau's earlier movies, because yeah, I'm not really sure like how much John Favreau actually did do like before this or after this. I don't know if this actually was his first film or how much he really did do at the time. But yeah, John Favreau really did look like much younger in this one. Yeah, well, yeah, he was much younger. Like this film was from 1993, so yeah, obviously he was much younger. Yeah, yeah, and then as Rudy was then like tested for a learning disability, it then like the test results indicated that Rudy was like suffering from dyslexia, but yeah, Rudy was able to like overcome it to become a better student. And yeah, and then yeah, in the following Christmas, as Rudy returned home to his family, like he shared like his college achievements with the family, and it showed that he was really improving, and he was hoping to really transfer to a Notre Dame. And while he didn't actually get to Notre Dame by the end of the semester, he was still confident and determined to do so. Oh, oh yeah, but yeah, his father really was like really doubtful of Rudy actually making it into Notre Dame, but he was glad that Rudy was doing well in school, and even like one of Rudy's brothers was also like still mocking his attempts to make it in. And yeah, yeah, but then yeah, and then as time went on, like uh yeah, 2 years had passed, and yeah, Rudy had been like rejected by Notre Dame 3 times, but finally, after those 2 years, Rudy was finally accepted into Notre Dame, and then he attended like football tryouts to make it to the team as a walk-on, as they refer to it, and yeah, but the assistant coach of the team, Yanto, warned the walk-ons that 35 of the scholarship players wouldn't even make it into the dress roster of players that take the field during games. But then during the tryouts, he just like saw Rudy's determination and then gave Rudy a spot on the daily practice squad. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, and then Rudy then like told his family about it, and he also like told Fortune about it, and yeah, Fortune then like promised to see Rudy's first game, and then yeah, and then as Rudy was like doing well in practice, this then like he convinced the head coach of the team, Ara Parasigon, to let him suit up for one home game during his senior year. But yeah, but Coach Parsion ended up like retiring following this. '94 season, and he was replaced by Dan Devine, who was like a former coach for the Green Bay Packers. And then, yeah, it showed then that like he was just refusing to place Rudy on the game day roster. And then as like the season was like approaching the end, and including like Rudy's senior year was also coming to an end, it was showing that like Rudy was not on the dress list for the next to last home game. So then Rudy just ended up quitting the team, and yeah, and a lot, and yeah, the players were unhappy about Rudy quitting, and there was even like one player on the team, Jim, who, yeah, Rudy was like really like being very motivational towards throughout the season, and especially after a conversation with him, like Jim said that like he really isn't enjoying being on the team, but he can't quit, otherwise his father would not pay his tuition. And yeah, and then right here after when Rudy quit, yeah, Jim approached him about it, saying that he didn't want him to quit, and even like told Rudy that Rudy was one of the reasons why Jim has stayed on the team as long as he has. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, Rudy he, he insisted on quitting the team. Yeah, but then as Rudy was then just like inside of the stadium, and Fortune then approached him and was just like telling him that he was once in the same position that Rudy was in that he had actually played for Notre Dame several years earlier, but he ended up quitting because he felt that due to his race and color of his skin, he quit the team, but he has regretted it ever since. And then, with some persuasion from Fortune, and just after he reminded Rudy that he has nothing to prove to anyone but himself, and he would regret quitting forever, then that persuaded Rudy to return to the team. Yeah, yeah. But then after practice that day, all of like Rudy's fellow seniors that were led by the team captain, Roland Steele, they all lined up to lay the jerseys on Devine's desk and just really were requesting Rudy be allowed to dress in his place for the final game of the season. And then with persuasion and all that stuff from the team, then Devine then agreed and let Rudy suit up for the game against the Georgia Tech. Yeah. And then, yeah, Rudy then contacted his family and told him that he'd be playing, and so then Rudy's family traveled to Notre Dame to attend his game, as well as D-Bob. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, then Steele ended up like inviting Rudy to lead the team onto the field, and Fortune was also there to see the game as he promised as well. And Notre Dame did very very well in the game, and they had a 17-3 lead. But then, yeah, Devine then just sent out all the seniors into the game except for Rudy, despite everyone's everyone's urging. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, fans were like all aware of Rudy's goal due to like a story from the student newspaper, and then there were Rudy chants throughout the stadium. Yeah, and then yeah, with the chants, like all of the members of the offensive team on Notre Dame, and that were led by Jamie O'Hara, who was the tailback, played by Vince Vaughn. And yeah, they then overruled the Divine's call for the victory formation, and then they ended up scoring a quick touchdown. And then that then and provided Rudy he had an opportunity to get into the game to be on the Fighting Irish roster. And so then Rudy was able to be in the game for the final play. Hey, and then as then yeah, and then in the final play during the kickoff to Tech, Rudy then was able to sack the quarterback on the Tech. And then yeah, everybody in the stadium were cheering, and yeah, then like members of the Notre Dame team then just hoisted Rudy onto their shoulders and just had him and just carried him off the field. Yeah, and then text appeared on the screen as an epilogue stating that after 1975, no other player for Notre Dame had been carried off the field to the time well, to this day, yeah, of the film's release in 1993, and it also said that Rudy ended up graduating Notre Dame in 1976, and the five of his younger brothers went on to earn college degrees as well. Yeah, yeah, and then it also like ended up showing a picture of the real Rudiger like on the football field. So yeah, I guess a nice little epilogue there, like an homage to the real Rudy Rudiger by showing a picture and just like explaining what he had done had never been done again since. So yeah, and that's how the movie ended. Yeah, so like I said, it is a really, really good movie. I mean, it really does have a good story, and yeah, really good job of like going through the progression for Rudy, and yeah, some good acting and performances, and yeah, that theme song just is like really, really catchy. So yeah, like I said, I just really cannot find really too much to like about the film. I mean, maybe it has some flaws. Like I said, I really don't know like how well this actually does like follow the true story of Rudy Rudiger. But yeah, for what it does do, yeah, it is this like told the story very, very well. So yeah, like I said, that if you haven't seen it before, check it out. It is really worth a watch. It is a very vastly overlooked and underrated film, I think, because yeah, like I said, I just really do not hear a lot of people really talking about this film. So yeah, so check it out if you haven't seen it before. So like I said, 3.5 stars out of 4. Just really, really good movie. All right. So I guess that's all I can really say about it. So yeah. So like I said, the theme song for the movie will be down in the description if you want to hear all of it. And so yeah. So yeah. So I guess that's also from my review of Rudy. So I hope you guys did enjoy this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.